Coming up in Access episode 74, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time is Game of the Week. We've got the latest news in PlayStation Briefing. Check out the best new downloads in On the Store. Dress boxing champ Carl Frock in Kratos garb for bonus level. And visit Grid 2 developer Codemasters Racing and access all areas before signing out with some makeup madness.
In an age where the words gritty and realism are so overused it's a wonder they don't disintegrate into a puddle of lettery depression, especially T, it's in there twice. It comes as no surprise that a few idiots have written off Sly Cooper Thieves in Time just because it's got jokes, colours and a jump button.
A game about an anthropomorphised trio of hearty outlaws. I mean, pish posh.
A raccoon? Is that like some kind of Black Ops 2 DLC or something?
I think this sick filth should be banned.
Well, you're all wrong, because Sly's return is a welcome injection of... Oh yeah, fun.
I mean, how can it not be? It's got a time-travelling van, like the Mystery Machine in the TARDIS got jiggy and had a do-everything-awesome baby that drops you off in some of the most vividly detailed gaming hubs in years. Yes, so the plot is sort of crowbarred in there to give you an excuse to visit all these places, but when they're as brilliant and varied as feudal Japan, the Wild West, the Ice Age, medieval England and ancient Arabia, who cares? Plus the game's on PS Vita too, with cross-buy and cross-save features, meaning one purchase nets you both versions and the ability to take your game with you wherever you fancy. Interested now, aren't you?
That's pretty cool actually, but I've like what Black Ops 2 might look like if there's some blue in it.
I think I might buy myself a pet hippo, a pet raccoon and a pet tortoise and see how they get on together.
Each area comes with a unique costume too, costumes that are at once Vogue front cover material and also imbued with nifty powers like flame immunity and deadly YouTube kitten pounce, or looking just like Robin Hood, only a raccoon and not a fox.
Even the boss battles are well thought out. I mean, yes, they're all about drowning your memory lobes in repetitive attack patterns, but when was the last time you fought a bear in a tracksuit while on ice skates?
The Murray is a skating machine!
And you're not just playing as Sly either. Murray and Bentley bear the spotlight on more than one occasion. Don't ask. But it's the Cooper ancestors that really shake things up.
Now these are characters you recruit as you punch through the space-time continuum, and from which our favourite has to be Bob, if only for this amazing Rocky-style montage that's so brilliant I'm just going to shut up and play it for a bit.
Bottom line, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time is old school gaming at its best, a burst of classic platforming layered with some awesome new ideas.
And if the term old school is still turning you off, then I can make this black and white and make my voice sound like it's echoing across 5 decades of audio technology. And look, I am still really handsome.
Sly Cooper Thieves in Time is out on March the 28th, and you should definitely buy it, if only to annoy her.
The next time a Parisian art museum is robbed by a violent hippo because it's got ideas from playing this game, you'll wish you'd listened to me. Ban it! Ban it!
Greetings from Planet News, where the local time is currently PlayStation Briefing o'clock. First up, time for a bit of high art bromance as we get a first hands-on with picturesque puzzler Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. The game is the brainchild of Swedish filmmaker and all-round lovely chap Joseph Fares, who we spoke to about the jump from the director's hot seat to the, game director's hot seat.
I've done 6 feature films, but it's a walk in the park compared to making, games, because it's a huge amount of money. I never expected it at all. And the story is about 2 brothers in search of a cure to help their dying father. But the simplicity of it, there are much more complexity in it, which I see, but I hope the players will see it as well.
Then it was on to online Heist 'em Up Payday 2, a game so criminally awesome looking we had to lock composer Simon Vilkund up in jail before we could ask him about the new playable classes.
First off is the mastermind, which is the guy who has the leadership skills. And then there's the enforcer, which is the heavy guy, the tank. the technician, he's the gadget guy. Then there's a ghost. If you want to play the game like Hitman and blend into the crowd without anyone noticing, then you want to play that guy.
And finally, get your 9 irons ready because Tiger Woods PGA Tour is back in town, this time with a 14 on the end. We spoke to EA Sports executive producer Brent Nielsen and asked who his ultimate golfing legend was.
Probably a toss-up between, I just love playing as Bobby Jones in some of the older eras from the 1930s, and probably 90s or modern day Tiger.
That's it for Briefing for now. We'll hit you with more news next week. This week's On The Store is all about small things that make big things better, which is a long way of saying it's full of awesome DLC. First up is The Betrayal, part 2 of Assassin's Creed 3's throw history out the window, yeah, let's do magic as well, Tyranny of King George add-on. The last time we saw Connor, he was captive and heading to Boston, although he'd also discovered he could turn invisible, summon a wolf pack, and conjure the strength of a bear. Pretty eventful few days. See what happens next in this second instalment, available now. Also available now are 30 extra VR missions to extend the high-heeled chopper lunacy of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. There's more story content on the way soon too, but for now, if you absolutely can't wait to slip back into that androgynous cyborg one piece, this pack will give you plenty of slicing, frantic action and a big orange room in which to do it. And talking of frantic action, the first DLC for Aliens Colonial Marines is Bug Hunt, a new horde survival mode in which besieged Marines stay frosty for as long as possible against waves of alien onslaught. Think perimeters, think sentry guns, think 3 new maps and downloading it as soon as possible. And finally, in more ways than one, there's Endgame, the last of Battlefield 3's epic year of downloadable content that brings 4 new maps and 2 revived game modes. Capture the Flag, which plays brilliantly with Battlefield's vehicle set, and the Territory in the Skies dogfighting of air superiority. A suitably fine send-off for a top shooter. That's all from the store for now. We'll be back with more downloadable deals next week. Welcome to the Phoenix Boxing Club in Nottingham, a modest place that just happens to be the home of IBF super middleweight champion Carl the Cobra Froth. We did the only polite thing and got a couple of Hollywood makeup artists to paint him up like God of War star Kratos. Because, you know, they look a bit like each other with the muscles and the beard and coffee. Suitably dressed, we dragged Carl into the ring for a round of interviews.
What do you make of your new look? Is this something you consider for a Friday night out?
I doubt that very much, but no, it's pretty cool. Quite happy with it. Been gaming since I was a kid. I remember playing God of War, one of the best games I played at. I'm going to be getting into this God of War Ascension. I'm hoping you give me a copy. God of War is a great game. It's so playable, and obviously the God of War, that's me. Both warriors. I'm the modern day warrior. He's an ancient warrior. Well, with his chains and whips, I reckon he'd probably wipe me out pretty quick, but if we both had a pair of boxing gloves on, he wouldn't have a chance.
Very nice, Carl. Kratos would be proud. Don't forget you can see Carl Frock duking it out with Mikkel Kessler on May the 25th, and also don't forget that God of War Ascension is out on PS3 right now.
Rah!
With Grid 2 powering towards a May release, we took the opportunity this week to visit Codemasters Racing at their leafy home in Leamington Spa to talk burning rubber, sexy cars and awesome racing sequels, which Grid 2 is definitely going to be.
If you've got a team that's really passionate about a game, a development team that's really passionate about a game, that's going to shine through, and that was the case with the original Grid. It was a game that the racing team really wanted to make. Grid 2 is something that teams wanted to work on for quite a long time now.
I think probably the single biggest impact you're seeing on Grid 2 with the true field handling is we've now adapted and learned to produce a new physics simulation and handling system that allows us to to remove any of those options from the game so that you get one system that works for everybody. So that's what we're so proud of with Grid 2. We really feel that's an incredible step forward.
At a base level, we want the novice player to be able to get it around the track and across the finish line, even if they have to bump off a few walls to do it. Whereas at an advanced level, we want players that truly understand the vehicles and the weight distribution, why they handle the way they do. We want them to be able to nail every corner, set the car up perfectly, really have a great time, appreciating the way that the car's handling. So that's where the depth comes from, really, is that the more time you spend on any individual car, the more you learn about it and its true character, the better you can perform while using it.
A big thanks to everyone at Codemasters Racing for putting up with us in their offices for an entire day. Grid 2 hits PS3 on May the 31st, and we'll have more on the game soon. With Carl Frock absolutely rocking the Kratos look this week, it comes as no surprise that Access camera hog Rob got a bit of a strop on that someone else stole the limelight, and so he did the only sensible thing, which was to dress up like Kratos himself. We'll see you next week. That's all for Access this week. Hit the giant red button to subscribe to all our regular episodes and extra features. And if you enjoyed this week's show, don't forget to comment and like us. Like us!